Hi, I'm Jan from Swiss Maritime Academy. I'm gonna show you now how to set up an Astro Plotting Sheet to establish your position from your sights. It's also the sheet we use during our popular SMA Astro Compact courses.
Okay, so you have taken your sights, you have done your calculation, and now it's time to plot your information onto a paper. Obviously, you're not able to use a chart like a small scale chart like a overview chart or a chart you use crossing the Atlantic. You require something which gives you more details and being more accurate like this. So this plotting sheet have been developed by a colleague of mine, and I personally like using it because you can use it all over the place. You have one longitude on the sheet already, and you have several latitudes. The latitudes, they have to stay in the same distance because it's a Mercator projection. So far, we have not decided if we are north or south of the equator, and we also haven't decided if we are east or west of Greenwich. This is what we are going to do later. You can download this on our website, but you have to be very careful for your printout because on the latitude scale you have to make sure this 2 millimeters equals 1 nautical mile equals 1 minute is actually 2 millimeters. Otherwise, you will be very inaccurate and your plot will not be satisfying. As always in navigation, you require some tools for working in the plotting sheet. So you have your pencil ready, pointy pencil. You have a roller pen for unerasable lines. You require something like an eraser if you do something wrong, and you also have a divider. I personally like a divider with a pen on it so I can actually draw directly into the chart. I have a course plotter or something like that, and a triangular protractor. Whatever you prefer for using, parallel rulers, whatever you like, you just use it. And then we start with step number 1. We have a scenario here. We were crossing the Atlantic and we have an estimated position on the 12th of February 1540 UTC. Our estimated position, latitude, longitude, our log reading, and our course over ground in true degrees. First of all, we have to get our very rough position right. So we are west of Greenwich, meaning I can delete the east on my number 1 longitude, and we are also north of the equator, so I can delete the south on my center latitude. Second, I have to decide which part of my plotting sheet will I start working, and which is my center longitude and which is my center latitude. Since I'm having a course of about west southwest, I'll start working with my plot somewhere in this part over here, moving further to the southwest. So my first longitude will be 052 degrees 00 minutes west, just in the middle of my worksheet. Because I'm moving something like west-southwest, my center latitude is going to be 14 degrees and 30 minutes north. And since I am on 30 minutes north, I can go into my latitude scale and write out some more digits there, so just to make it sure that's not more confusing than it already is. So I go 25 there, so it's like 20, 15 over there, 1, 5, 10, and 5. This is my latitude scale until I go to 0, 0. So this one here must be the latitude 14 degrees 00 minutes north. And again, I go into my scale. Further down, 55, 50, 45, etc. So the last remaining latitude on my plotting sheet, which is further north, is obviously 15 degrees and 00 north. Now my latitudes are already marked. I can establish I'm somewhere there in this position, but missing the longitudes. So in order to organize the longitudes, it's a little bit more tricky. As you might remember from your education, longitudes and latitudes have to be in the right relation, and on a Mercator projection, the longitudes are going closer and closer together the further you move away from the equator, and if you move back to the equator, the longitudes distance is increasing again. So on the equator, the longitude distance will be exactly the same like the latitude distance. But moving south or north, the longitude distance will decrease. To make the longitudes work, I need a ruler and I also need a divider. I personally like the dividers which have a pencil in there, so I can draw directly into the chart or into the plotting sheet. So one more time, our center latitude is 14 degrees and 30 minutes north. I have to remember this because we have to use these numbers in this latitude scale on the right hand side, which gives us an angle to determine the distance from the longitudes to the longitudes. Step number 1, I take my dividers and I take the distance from one latitude to the next latitude. Step number 2, I take my divider, I go out from the center of the plotting sheet, I line up the center of the plotting sheet with 14.5 degrees, so you can see there 14.5, so I'll line it up over there. And as soon as I'm very accurately in this position, I use my divider and I just make a little mark on my plotting sheet with the distance from the two latitudes, determining the distance from my longitudes. There we go. Take your unerasable ball pen. Take again your ruler. Line up a nice 90-degree angle on your latitude through your mark and draw in your first longitude. And there it is, my first longitude. So you see now that my center longitude is 052 degrees and 00 west. Accordingly, my new longitude must be 051 degrees and 30 west. Now to have another longitude, I take again my dividers. I take the distance of the two longitudes I have already. Just put a mark on the latitude on the other side of my center longitude. Just like this. Take my ruler, nice 90-degree angle, and there comes my third longitude. And again, accordingly, this is 052 degrees 00 west. So this third longitude must be 052 degrees and 30 minutes west. Now I'm almost ready to start plotting. I have my latitudes, I have my longitudes. Just one little thing missing. I do not have a longitude scale. For accurate plotting, I require a longitude scale, and that's going to be done like this. Take your centimeter scale if you like. This is 5.8 centimeters. 5.8 by 3 is 1.9. So I mark 1.9 there. And another 1.9 over there. Is giving me 10 in 20 minutes until we reach 30 minutes. So this is the 10, this is the 20, and this is the 30. Write it in there to avoid confusion. And now we just need a fiver, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.9 by 2 is 0.95, something like that. So there's my fiver. And I mark 1, 2, 3, 4 accordingly. Now I'm good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30. I have a longitude scale, I have a latitude scale. I can start plot into my plotting sheet. And this is all done on February the 12th at around 1540 UTC. This is our scenario. Just write it on the sheet so you make sure you work with a proper sheet for the proper day. So first I start with my latitude, which is very close to 15 degrees north. Just put it a little bit further down so you can see 15 degrees 00 north. I'm 4.5 minutes below that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4.5 minutes out of my latitude scale on the right hand side. 4.5 there. Take the 4.5 to the 15 degrees latitude and put a little mark on the longitude. You should know that by now. It's standard chart plotting. Now as a longitude, if I work from 051 degrees 30 towards west, I just require another 12 minutes, and that's my EP longitude. Again, I take my pencil dividers. I take 2 minutes on the small scale there, and I add 10 minutes to the 2 minutes, and there we go with 12. That's the 12 minutes. Now I search for the little mark there on my longitude over there. Take my 12 minutes and draw in my EP longitude. Connect it with my EP latitude. And there's my EP over there from 1540 UTC. Always add the log reading, 1092 miles. And there we go. That's my EP. I can start plotting my sites with this plotting sheet. And that is how it's going to look once you have plotted in all your sites. As mentioned before, you're welcome to join us in our SMA Astro Compact Course, where you will learn how to establish your position with the Sun and or the Moon. It was nice having you aboard. Thank you very much for watching.